we were very excited to be able to show this early data. What we were interested in is, are we truly doing an all-comers study for the SELUTION DeNovo study? And also we were very interested to see whether people were bailing out too much or the right amount, and whether their PCI technique was being changed by the study as they were enrolling. What we found was, having looked at the first 1,000 balloon patients that were enrolled, we split them into early and late by each centre. So the early ones were the first 20 patients enrolled. Everything after that was then late. And in the first 1,000, it came out at almost 50-50 between early and late on what we would like to think of as the learning curve. What we found was there was not much difference from the point of view of patient demographics, a slight tendency to fewer ACS patients in the late group, but that the patients tended to be a little bit older, more women and more diabetics, which obviously makes your PCI outcome a little worse and your angioplasty a bit more complex. When we looked at the angiographic data, the thing that stood out most significantly, and statistically was significant, was the number of type C lesions had doubled from around 14 to almost 30%. And this obviously reflects the complexity, and therefore we presume the increased confidence of the operators. And this was borne out by the fact that there was more calcium, more diffuse disease, and more multi-vessel and staged procedures done towards the end. So we know that people have taken on more complex patients towards the end of the first 1,000. And what we then looked at was the bailout rate, which is obviously very important in a study whereby we're looking at all comers after angiographic randomization but before lesion preparation, and we wanted to keep the bailout rate below 30%. I'm pleased to say that at the beginning the bailout rate was 21%, and in the later group this had dropped down to 15%, which for intending to do DCB angioplasty in an all-comer population I think is a really impressive result. The thing that we noticed that changed most significantly within the bailout rate was that people were bailing out less often after they used the DEB, and the bailout rate beforehand, as in the lesion preparation failure, stayed the same at around 10%. So we were very excited with this data. We hope that it shows that we are recruiting a true all-comers study, and that with time people are getting more comfortable with the DCB only concept.